We did the positive. Now I'm going negative. Jimmy, I'll start with you. We're back to 23%. We didn't even say anything yet. I can't believe there's this many people saying unranked at the end of the year.
Untimely commercial.
That's shocking. Yeah, the commercials.
It's Jimmy's reputation.
Jimmy, reasons for doubt, reasons for concerns. Are there positions? Are there things that you're hearing that you didn't expect to hear? And if it's something that we've already talked about, on and on and on, you can go there too.
Well, it is what we've talked about. I talked to somebody that went to a practice and watched it, and I said, I want you to watch it very carefully because I'm going to agree on it. And he said the two worst positions that he saw were wide receiver and offensive line. Now, you could say the offensive line maybe got beat up by a really good defensive line. Okay, I get that. But the receivers, he said they didn't look good at all. They were dropping passes. They've been banged up, which leads to what you were saying, the passing game.
Yeah.
But now he put the quarterbacks, he said they were better than the receivers and offensive line, but the quarterbacks did not have a good day this particular day. They were much better Thursday during the scrimmage. It was Thursday, wasn't it? Friday. So, the receivers and the offensive line are the two. Every other position this guy liked. Quarterbacks maybe third on his list of needing to get better.
Yeah.
But he liked everything about the defense. He liked the running backs, the tight ends. So the two areas, receiver and offensive line, are the big concerns.
It's interesting. I haven't heard a lot of down talk about the offensive line. I've heard most of that was positive, with the exception, I continue to hear bad things about center. I continue to hear that is it's a question mark, a concern at center. Ryan, concerns.
I think center is the weak spot of the offensive line. That would be on my list of concerns. I'm going to start with the obvious one, the quarterback position. I just think the fact that we've not heard more about the passing game looking good, about Joey Aguilar running away with the job. It's more he's won it by default because Jake Merklinger hasn't really pushed him.
Right.
So I think that's not ideal. I don't know what to make of the passing game. Again, so many receivers being out, it makes it hard to judge anything, but I do think it's not ideal that we're not hearing more positive talk about Joey Aguilar. It's just that Aguilar's the starter. And I'll say this, it's amazing to me we haven't brought up the injury that happened Friday. I think the injury to David Hobbs is a pretty significant one on the defensive line. I think he may miss at least a couple games to start the season. That's not ideal because that's a guy that I think has a chance to maybe replace the production you had in Omar Norman-Lott. I think he could have a really big year.
Negatives. And we can go with other injuries if we want that too. I mean, if you want to go back to one that started in January, the Jermod McCoy issues obviously needs to be mentioned as something that is a concern that you don't. My concern is, you're going to get him back. I don't know what condition he will be in. It usually takes guys an extra year to feel confident enough to be back to normal 100%. So I'm concerned about that.
I mean, I feel like that I'm just double stamping everything they just laid out in the wide receiver room. But Braylon Staley, where you thought maybe it was just going to be just something that would keep him on the sideline for a practice or two, has now lingered. And it seems like that we're frequently asking for an injury report update. I mean, only had 3 catches last year.
A guy who also missed a significant time in the spring.
It just, to me, when I look at this wide receiver core, when you add your top 3 guys, Brazel, Matthews, and Staley, you're looking at a total of 47 catches between the 3 of them last year. If I'm off by 1 or 2 on Brazel.
39.
30. Okay. So 49 total.
So 49 total. The point is, you got to get how many drop balls, how many times did you see receivers just absolutely, whether it was injuries or not, have a poor year? That's why I go back to last year when Squirrel White and so many of those guys were injured. Why didn't we see Mike Matthews have a coming out party before the Vanderbilt game? So again, this is another one of those 13 days until it's football time in Tennessee, and we still have large question marks about the injury report to Kelsey Pope's room. That to me is highlighted with italics.
Vince?
Yeah, David Hobbs is one, just outside of what we've been talking about with the passing game. David Hobbs is one because he's one of the 3 big defensive tackles in that rotation. And, there's some potential with the depth, but it's young after that. Or you have to slide more Don Bailey inside a little bit more to compensate for that. So that is significant. Another thing I would say, in addition to center and what we talked about, is in the secondary, and that's at star. If you don't have Boo Carter there, now you're taking some of your depth away from corner with McMurray there. Now, without McCoy, until he comes back or he's 100%, now you're a little bit thin in that area. So that's another one I would be worried about just a touch as well. But I still think there's still plenty of positives with this team.
Just had to end it on a positive, didn't you? That's right.
Yeah, no, but I'm just
Good,
saying
friendly,
that,
positive.
This is the negative segment.
I'm just saying
You didn't end the positive segment with a negative.
I'll throw one more in there that just because people haven't
There you go.
because people haven't been talking about this. I'm not saying there's reason to really worry that this position group's not going to be good, but we haven't heard a lot about Tennessee's pass rush in general, and I think the Leo position has not proven that it's going to absolutely be able to replace what you had in James Pierce. Joshua Joseph has potential, but he missed some time in camp. Caleb Herring hasn't shown it yet that he can do it, and Jordan Ross, I don't know that he's ready to take as big a step as fans would like. So that group to me still has some things to prove.
Yeah, and you didn't have that many sacks last year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the
50
thing.
something in the country.
Yeah,
nationally.
you were not really big in sacks. You got
29.
some pressures, but you did not have a ton.
We talked about it on the Sports Source Digital Network, the lowest of 4. The best season, 29 sacks. It's kind of alarming where you're like, wow, you had a fantastic year for the Tim Meigs' defense. You just weren't getting to the quarterback
Right, you
as
didn't
much
get him
as
on
you
the
did the
ground.
first 3 years.
Exactly.